Hi, right, we're just waiting for a few more people to arrive. If you are just arriving, I have changed the host tools so that your screen won't be shared and you can't join in the conversation at the moment. I'll take that off later, but you can still post any questions that you've got in the chat, and that's because I'm going to be sharing this video to my YouTube channel and in my Facebook group. So for your privacy, I've just turned that off for now. Got a few more people joining us, so I'll just let them in as they arrive. What I've got for you this morning is probably 30 minutes, depending on how many questions you've got. I have got a few slides and I can send them to you after the webinar if that's useful. I try not to have too many slides just because death by PowerPoint, it's a real thing, and I'd much rather have a little bit more interaction and just sort of talk to you and answer any of your questions. So I will share my slides in just a moment. I have got a few questions from people, so that's great. I've also tried to include those questions in the slides I have got, so hopefully I should answer those questions as we go through anyway. If not, do comment in the chat, and there will be opportunity for questions later. And of course, you can reach out at any time anyway if you've got any questions. Right, why don't I start sharing the screen, and then we can... Where is it? I've already opened it. It's here somewhere. Okay, well, I'm using Canva. Canva's brilliant. If you're not familiar with Canva, it's amazing. I love it. And I waste hours on Canva. Okay. Oh, no. I don't want that. Pause, wrong screen. Not screen one, not screen two. Oh, it's always a good start, isn't it? Ah, what can you see? Can you see the screen, or can you just see me? Not that it's a bad thing that you can just see me. Stop share. Let's stop share. Let's try again. Yay. There you go. Hurrah. Okay. So, Career Radiance Programme, then, this has evolved. And if you have seen any of my other videos about Career Radiance, you'll know that this started as like a really small seed when I was working with one of my leadership clients. And I identified that I was having similar conversations with each of my clients, and we were using the same tools and resources. And I really wanted to be able to share these resources quickly and easily, and for clients to kind of use them in between our coaching sessions. And from that grew a 6-week program with loads of content. It has taken me a lot longer to create it than planned. Not the content, but just the technology that sort of sits around it. So whilst I've written numerous leadership programs, career programs that are sort of 10, 15 years, I've never actually put it on a learning platform. So this is a huge learning curve, and the automations that are involved to set this up, it's like I've got a master's in automations now. Maybe not masters, maybe a GCSE. Okay, so let's get going. So this is so much more than just a career programme. It is not about writing your CV. It is about digging deep into who you are, what you want, and how you're going to get there. It's about you making the decisions for you. So, you know, the strapline there is for women who want to take control of their career and shine. It is absolutely about you making those plans. So my eldest has just started his A-levels, and I can remember at the start of my career, I was so invested in what I wanted to do that I was doing loads of CPD. I you know, had a bit of a vague plan, but I very much was in control of where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. Fast forward until I was married and had small children, and it was just a job. It kind of was what I roughly wanted to do, but it very much aligned to where we lived, the local school hours, and it wasn't challenging me, it wasn't fulfilling me, it wasn't giving me the growth and development that I really needed. So this is about you recognizing what you want and what you need and how you can get that, whether that's within your current role or whether that's doing something completely different. And it might be, you know, a longer term plan. It may not be a short term plan of I'm going to do it within the next couple of months. But the content in this program will just help you work through where you want to go and what you want to do. So this is the program outline then. So there are 6 modules, and each module is, I've designed it so that you can do it either in one sort of each module in one go. So it could take you an hour to an hour and a half. It might take you a little bit longer if it's a subject that you haven't spent any time on previously. Depending on your learning style will depend on how quickly you want to work through this. So, for example, I know I'm a reflector, I process information. So for me, I would want to do a module a week. I might do it in 2 or 3 sittings of kind of about half an hour a time, so that in between each session, I can think about what I've done. I know that I will come up with some more examples. I might talk to my friends about it. And every conversation or every time I think about it, I'll have a deeper understanding. But you might be somebody who can just crack on with it, get it done, blitz it, work through it, and you've got the answers that you need. There is no right or wrong way to work through the content on the learning platform. So the first module then, let me talk you through what you can expect in each of the modules, sorry. So the first one is all about career radiance and you. So this is very much bespoke to you and what does success mean to you. Success for you may be 6 figures, a nice car, nice house, 2 foreign holidays a year, or success to you might be a job that you absolutely love. It might be minimum wage, but actually it brings you real joy. It lights you up and it gives you all the time and energy that you want to live the life that you dream of. So, you know, you're spending time with the kids or parents or friends, you're doing all your hobbies and activities, and you get up in the morning and you look forward to going to work. Success is very different to each and every one of us, and there is no right or wrong. So there's some coaching prompts to help you define what success means to you. Within all of the modules, there are tools and resources that you can use time and time again. There's a workbook for each module, talking you through each step and all the different activities. There might be some YouTube talks, TED Talks, YouTube links, some quotes. There will also be a video talking you through the workbook for those of you that are a bit more sort of an auditory learning style. You do as much or as little as you want. If you're stuck, you can in the Facebook group, there's you've got the opportunity to join the Facebook group. It is purely optional. You don't have to. So if you get stuck, or you kind of like, you just want to put a comment and just sort of see how it lands with everybody else, and see how other people are getting on and what they're thinking, you can post in the Facebook group. At some point on the learning platform, there will be the opportunity to put those comments in the chat in there as well. It's one step at a time. I will figure out how to do that and on another day. So that's module 1. Module 2 is all about your strengths. How many of us can really easily say, these are my top 3 strengths and talents? You know, that interview question you always get and people really struggle with it. It's like, oh, what am I going to say? I know what they want me to say. I can look at the person's back and I know what that says I should be good at. But actually, what am I really good at? And it wasn't until COVID, when everybody was sent home, that I really recognised my strengths, because I was working in a busy hospital at the time, and all the training, all our meetings, they were all cancelled because, of course, all of our clinical staff were responding to a global pandemic and nobody knew what was going on. So I was at home with my joining sort of Zoom calls and Teams calls with my colleagues in the AD team. And I really recognised that where I really added value was by being creative and curious and making connections, because I had the time to process, to think, to ask questions. And that's where I recognised I wasn't playing to my strengths. And that's a whole other conversation, not for now. But for me, that was the start of my journey into leaving a job that I'd done for a number of years around the kids and the family and school, etc., to now doing what I absolutely love and what really brings me joy. So that's module 2. And I'm really going to challenge you on your strengths. We're going to go deeper than organisational skills or admin skills. We will explore your strengths in the workplace, but also out of work, because leadership and working environments these days, not just leadership, but working environments, are about our whole selves. For us to be the best versions that we can be, we need to be able to show up as our whole self. And actually, as a perimenopausal woman, I know that some days I'm a right grumpy old cowbag. I don't try not to share that in my one-to-ones with my clients, but I know that some days I'm not going to be as productive as others, because I just haven't got the headspace to get done what I need to do. And that's okay with our immediate team and our colleagues. It's that situational awareness. It's understanding that I'm not perfect, that this is what's showing up for me today, and this is the support I might need. You know, don't put me in front of a meeting with loads of tech, because the tech is just going to throw me today. Yes, I can do the one-to-one stuff, and I can do the listening, and I can ask questions, but don't get me organising the tech, because I'm going to fail. You know, some days we just feel like that, and it's okay. So I've gone off on a tangent, and I can't remember where I was going with that. But so strengths is so much more than just kind of like 2 or 3 key skills that you've learned to do. We're gonna look at your talents. We're gonna really dig a little bit deeper there. So once you know what you're naturally good at, we move on to values. And values for me is really important. It's your core. It's what makes you you. It's we're all unique and individual. Our fingerprints are all very different, as are our values and what's important to us. So checking in on our values and how they show up, how we lean into our values, how we live those values, and then maybe what's holding us back from living those values. So we kind of look a bit at boundaries here as well. And probably values is probably my favourite module, but that's just me. It's because actually I've spent a lot of time looking at my values because my values weren't aligned in my job or in my home life for a very long time. So actually that's why that's really important to me. And then once we've identified our values and our strengths and what success means to us, we start to think about the future and we start to visualize, what is it I want for myself? Do I want to carry on working 9 to 5 in this environment, whatever that is? Do I want to do more traveling? Do I want to write a book? Do I want to do more exercise? Do all of these things. So it's really about exploring what's your vision for the rest of your life. And that sounds quite huge and dramatic. It's not about it's not setting it in stone. It is about recognizing where you want to go, what you want to achieve, because then we can start to think about and work out how are your strength, your values going to help you achieve your vision. Does that make sense? So if you've got any questions, just pop it in the chat. I realise I'm kind of talking at you quite fast. This is my bread and butter. I've been doing this for so many years. It just all makes complete sense to me. So if it's not making sense, please do check in. And then module 5 is the connections. We start to connect some of the learning and the observations from each of the modules. And because this is a career programme, or even though it's so much more than a career programme, we start to kind of pull together and create an individual career map for you. And there's templates to support with all of this. Equally, you can create your own if you're somebody really creative and you like doing that kind of thing. So that will just help you to bring it to life a little bit and to identify what some of your next steps are. And then module 6 is an opportunity to pause and to reflect. It's to go back and look at each of the outcomes from each of the modules and just check in and just kind of think, oh, actually, I'd add this to what success means to me now. Having done the rest of this work, this is what it means. And there is no right or wrong. I mean, I could have swapped the modules around. They could have been done in different orders, but this kind of felt like the logical order in which to do it. So there'll be some tools and resources to help with your reflection and just to fine tune some of your sort of plans and next steps in terms of what you're going to do from now, what support you might need to help you to get there. So that's the programme outline. We'll keep going, and I'll come back to your questions in just a moment. But we'll keep going because this might then give you the context for those questions. So I mentioned right at the very start that this started as a seed and it's grown into something a lot bigger. What I really, really want is for as many women as possible to have the opportunity to go through this programme and to invest in themselves and to do the work. And the reason I really want that is because I just didn't do that. I was in a job where all my CPD was based around the job and what my organisation wanted. There was no personal development there, and this is very much a personal development programme. It doesn't matter your profession. It doesn't matter whether you're a senior leader, an aspiring leader, or whether you're you know, you just turn up to work and you're a colleague, and you go in and you do the job and you go home again. It really doesn't matter your seniority, your pay, or your profession. This is about you investing in yourself. So to make it as affordable for as many people as possible, there's 3 ways for you to access the content and the program. And whilst it's also about money, it's also about your individual needs as well. So if you are somebody who prefers one-to-one work, and you know that there are going to be things that come up that you really want some help unpicking and digging that a little bit deeper, the one-to-one coaching program may well be the right program for you. So as with so each of these offers will give you access for life to the digital content of the Career Radiance program. What the one-to-one coaching program will help you with is there will be one-to-one sessions with me where there'll be pure coaching. So for example, that might be I think I've got a slide actually. I have, yeah. So the so you'll have access to the 6 modules. We will have a planning session. So you would have already had a look at the platform. You would have already may well have started on some of the content, but we'll have a planning session to understand where you are now, what that might look like for you. There we go. I knew I'd done a slide. So this is kind of around module 1. That's when we'll have our first catch up. So the planning session is when you're thinking about what does success mean to you, and you know, we'll build that rapport, we'll build that connection. And then we'll personalize the experience for you. We'll identify, you know, what's the time frame you want to work towards. So I know life gets in the way, whether you've got kids or not, whether you've got a full-time job or not, life happens. So for the best will in the world, you might sign up and kind of go, yeah, I'm going to do a module a week. I can do this. That's absolutely fine. Realities can be very different. So it'll be bespoke to you. I would recommend that you don't leave too long between each coaching session, and we will have that conversation when we meet. So I would recommend every 2 weeks if you're working through the content quite quickly. If for whatever reason you can't, then we can rearrange that, and it might be every 3 weeks, but maximum every 4 weeks. So I want this for you. I want you to complete this program within 12 weeks, because that you are going to get the most from this program by completing it within that time frame. So then we've got 3 coaching sessions whilst you complete the content. And if you wanted to spend all 3 talking about your strengths and what's holding you back, you can. It's unlikely that we need to spend 3 on that, but we go where you want to go. And it may be that we talk about something that has come up as a result of completing one of the modules. And that's absolutely fine, because you get from it what you need to get from it. And then after the coaching sessions, there will then be a follow-up meeting. So that's usually then around module 6. So that's helping you put it all together. So that's one-to-one, that's bespoke for you. I've only got sort of space for 3 or 4 one-to-one clients in this way at a time. So, you know, if this is something you are interested in, then you could let me know sooner rather than later, and then I can book you in for that. So that's the kind of like the one-to-one program. If you like a little bit of interaction and connection and you prefer group program, then I've also got the opportunity for a small group program. And by small, I probably mean about 6 delegates, 6 clients. That's because in supporting of each content module as you work through, we're going to have a weekly catch up via Zoom, and I will coach you as a small group through the program. So you might be working in pairs or in 3s on some of the activities. So it's, for me, I need to be able to manage that, so you feel that you get some coaching as a result of that group program. So this one will be 6 weekly. Sorry, a 6-week programme. We will meet weekly as you work through the content. You don't have to have completed the content to attend the weekly call. Equally, if you can't attend the call, I'll record it and you can watch it back. So you'll get a little bit of help from that. And again, with this one, you'll also get access to the Facebook group, so you can ask any questions in the Facebook group. So then this is the core. This is what everybody will get access to. So this is, I don't like the word e-learning. It just feels really, I don't know, mandatory training-ish. Maybe that's just me. So I will show you the platform in just a moment. I'm quite excited about the platform. So on the learning platform, you will get personal access. So you'll get an email and a login. You can choose, optional is the Facebook group. It's a private group, so only women clients I've working with now, worked with previously, are in there, or new clients will be joining as they complete the Career Radiance Programme. It's not hugely active. You've got access, you'll have access for life. I'm not going to throw anybody out unless that you don't adhere to the rules and the sort of code of conduct, the informal code of conduct. So each module on the learning platform will consist of lessons, which is a video of me talking through the content in the workbook. There will be some attachments, and then at the end of each module, there's a self-assessment and a check-in. That's 2 or 3 questions that are compulsory that you do need to complete. And that's to help you with your reflection and your learning, but also it's in the moment feedback for me to understand how you're getting on, and what you might need from me to help you dig a little bit deeper, or or sort of next steps. So that's the core offers, so the 3 core offers. This is a Facebook group. This is what it currently looks like. So it's Coaching Women to Shine with Ray Harper. There's a bit of a story there about the Facebook group. Something I created 2 years ago when I first settled on the name of my business, Coaching Women to Shine, and then I forgot all about it. And I had a few early clients in there that I'd worked with, and I just abandoned them. So it's been there for a while, but it hasn't been particularly well used. So it is something that we will be using a lot more of, but it is really there to support you through the Career Radiance Programme. But don't worry, I'm not going to be bombarding you every day with new messages. As I don't know about you, but I'm already in enough Facebook groups. Okay, let's have a look at the learning platform. So I'm going to, that's that how it does work. Hurrah. Okay, so I've still got a bit of tarting up to do, as I like to call it, but this is the dashboard of the learning space. So this is my this isn't my business link, so I've created a test page, if you like, for me. So you can add your details, you can add a photo if you want to, you can add your personal details. It's up to you. You can add as much or as little as you want. And then you can click on take a course, and you will see the courses that you've got access to, that you've purchased. So we are going to click Career Radiance. Just thinking about it. There we go. So each of the modules looks like this. So you can see here in this bar here, 0 of 6 lessons completed. So that's the 6 modules that you've got. And what I've got at the moment, so this is the onboarding. So this is the kind of the welcome. If you forget your password and login details, this has got some guidance there. So let's have a look. Yeah. So you've got a little bit more about the program, the videos, program outline, creating learning intentions. So as with every good learning program, you need to spend some time thinking about what is it you want to achieve from this program? What does success of this program look like to you? What does it mean to you? How will you know when your investment has been worth it? Okay, so there's some guides and there's some prompts there. And what I haven't done at the moment is I'm going to drip feed the access to each of the modules, because there will be somebody, at least one person in this group, that kind of goes, oh, do you know what? I don't want to start with what success means to me. I know what success means to me. I'm going to move straight on to values because that's where I want to spend my time. So just pause a moment, trust the process, and trust that this is the right place to start. So you'll complete the first module. There will be a video up here and I'll just talk you through that. So then you've got your lessons and then the Wheel of Life. This is a brilliant tool, and it's one I use time and time again with my clients. You can also adapt it in so many different ways as well. And I think I've shared how in the video for that one. So this is where we're going to start. And then it will begin to make a little bit more sense as to why this one has come first. And then this check-in bit, this is the questions. I wonder if I can see the questions. Okay, yeah. So the self-assessment and check-in. So it's marked as an assignment. It's not an assignment, and that's the only phrase I could call it. So this is a few questions to help you later on in the program. So when you complete this, I'll get a copy. You'll also be emailed the copy as well, so you've got access to it. So you'll just complete all these bits here. It's part of ongoing evaluation, so which helps me, and will just help you as you work through. Then as soon as you press submit with that one, this will be marked as complete, and then you will then have access to the next module. And that's the same for each of them. Once you've completed the whole program, this isn't going to disappear. It's not going anywhere. You've got access to this course for life, or certainly for as long as I'm using the platform, and I'm not planning on going anywhere. So if you want to do it again in 6 months, you can. The Facebook group will be there. So again, you can join in the conversation there. If you want to do it again next year, you can. So you can use it as often as you would like. And you can, if you are a leader, you will, or somebody who's done lots of personal or professional development, you'll recognize lots of the tools and resources. I give you the tools and resources for you to take away and use. So whilst this content and this program is just for you, there's a SWOT analysis in there. Using it in a different context of maybe where you've used it previously, but use it. Wheel of Life. It's really easy. I mean, you don't have to use my framework that I've created, but the Wheel of Life is it's really simple to be able to do. So once you've got those tools in your toolkit, go and use them. Go and use them. I'm not precious about your learning because I've taken it from somewhere else. The Wheel of Life isn't something I've invented. Excuse me, I'm doing too much talking. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Let me just check the chat. Is everybody okay? Yes. Fab. Okay. All right. So that's the learning platform. Question. Oh, perfect slide. Questions. So a couple of the questions. Right, okay, just want to make sure I'm covering all the questions. So yes, what's the cancellation of coaching sessions? So life gets in the way. I know it does. I work flexibly. As long as you let me know as soon as you can, I'm okay with you rearranging. As long as it's within a few days and the coaching sessions aren't going on beyond the 12 weeks, unless we've had a conversation and it's individual to you. But generally, as a rule, let's keep the momentum going. If you've got a poorly child and you haven't been able to do the work, that's fine. Do the work, let me know. It's about communication. Okay, I'm not going to not rearrange your coaching session because you've cancelled. If you've cancelled 3 times, I might question how motivated you are for the coaching sessions. But again, we'll have a conversation. And okay. So yes, it is better to complete the programme on a desktop or a laptop, purely because I haven't worked out how to adjust the settings for mobile yet. So you'll be able to watch the YouTube videos on your mobile, and any of the videos that I've done on your mobile. There isn't an app for the platform, but you can. I guess it depends. If you've got access to a printer and you want to print off the workbooks, then it's probably fine from your mobile. If you don't have access to a printer, not impossible, but it's not going to be your best learning experience from a mobile. Yet I am working on adjusting it's technical again. Any more questions? So the group program is, I'm probably going to run the group program every couple of months, probably around school holidays. So I may not worry about half terms, but certainly summer holidays, Christmas and Easter, life just gets too complicated. I'm a single parent, and sometimes I've got the kids, sometimes I haven't, and it's hard for me. So I appreciate it's going to be hard or harder for some of you as well. So no, the group programs I would try and do sort of roughly term time. I will, because it's such a relatively small group, I will try and get a consensus in terms of time. So the plan is, depending on when you sign up. So for the group program, for example, you'll probably get the first email over the weekend or whatever. So I'm thinking probably the group sessions are going to be on a Thursday or a Friday. Do I alternate times? I don't know. It's going to be a bit of trial and error. I want as many people to be able to attend as possible, and I appreciate everybody's busy, and trying to find the one time when everybody can join is going to be a challenge. So what I might do is, for this first programme, is let you know the dates and times. So I might just say, do you know what, it's going to be a Friday at 11 o'clock, Friday morning at 11 o'clock for the next 6 weeks. That doesn't work, or once we get together and everybody says to me, I can't do Fridays at 11, but I can do Fridays at 10. Okay, we'll shift it. So that will be a bit of a trial and error. It's like with any program you sign up to. If you know the dates in advance, it's trying to make that work for you for that 6 weeks. And if there is one week you can't attend, it will be recorded. You've got the opportunity to ask. You can ask me some questions beforehand, and I can answer them live. If need be, I can leave you a voice note. But, you know, I'm really happy to do that. I'm not one of these people that is just like, no, you've only got me for this amount of time in this window. I want this experience to be the best for you that it can be. And I completely recognise that I might have said this several times already, that, you know, actually my tech skills may not be quite there yet in terms of some of all the automations. So I know some of the links may not work because I've updated things elsewhere. So, you know, I absolutely want to be flexible for you, if you can kind of be a little bit flexible for me when a link doesn't work, or the automation hasn't reminded you of the live call tomorrow, for example. So I hope that helps with that question. Keep them coming, by the way, if you've got any more questions. Oh, this is the really important bit, and I had to put this slide in because I knew I would forget to say, and I completely had it gone out of my head. So because you've showed up today, I really want to be able to say thank you for coming. Thank you for giving me all the questions, because it really helps me to get out of my head and to kind of make sure I'm positioning it for you, because I know how great the content is and how transformational this can be for all of you. So as a thank you for showing up and believing in me and trusting in me, if you book before midnight on Sunday, you get a 20% discount. And that's across all 3 programs. I couldn't work out a way. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know what the prices mean. It's just 20% off. I'm just going to make it easy and just do that. So that is, you do have to pay in full before midnight on Sunday to get that 20% discount. Any problems with payment, just drop me a DM, and as long as I've got your DM before midnight on Sunday, I'll honour that 20% discount. I might have to go in and manually do that, but I can absolutely do that for you. So the picture is a woman taking action and shining, walking towards radiance and shining, because I know that's what this program will do for you. If you're not sure, and I love this picture, so this is a picture I took a couple of years ago. Oh, where did we go? I went away with a friend for a weekend. Oh gosh, I can't even remember where we went. That's terrible. I can't remember where this picture is. Anyway, I've used it quite a lot recently in some of my sort of marketing materials and on my social media, because I just love the image. So, you know, my question on the social media posts was, what do you see? A fence or the sun on the horizon? Because if you see a closed gate and a fence, there's so much more. There's so many more opportunities out there. So most of you, I would imagine, are people with growth mindsets and looking for more, bigger, more expansive. So that's why I put this picture in here. But if you're not sure, I deviate again. If you're not sure, then feel free to book a discovery call. So I will send you the link. So I'll send you an email after this webinar. Send you an email so you can discuss your what's holding you back. If you're not sure which of the programs might be better for you, we'll have a conversation and we'll work it out. So don't worry. And taking control of your career in the next 6 weeks is just one step away. So in 6 weeks, you could have achieved so much. You could have moved from to enthusiasm, energy, confidence, going to leave that with you. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording and then we can carry on chatting. So if anybody's got any questions, you can. So stop sharing. There we go. And I'm just going to stop recording, make sure I don't throw everybody out of the room. There we go.